Hello, my name's Jose Juarez, also known as the Barbie Cuban. I was born in Havana, Cuba, January 3rd, 1963. In 1968, we were fortunate enough to be able to come to the United States during what was called the Freedom Flights. It was a lottery in Cuba where X amount of people were allowed out of the island. What a lot of people don't realize is Cuba was not a communist country before 1959. In 1968, we left Cuba and immigrated to Portland, Oregon. It was April the 11th of 1968. So I get asked, what about Cuba? A lot of the questions comes up is, tell me about Cuba. So the main thing that I hear right now in the media is if we would lift the embargo, Cuba would be better and the Cuban people would be better. That is not true. The embargo started in 1959. Let me just explain something to you. I'm going to give you a little prop here. Here's the US dollar. Here's $500 monopoly money. This is exactly what happens in Cuba. The Cuban worker makes monopoly money, basically. They have their own currency. It's different than the elite in Cuba. It's different than the tourists that come into Cuba. You are not allowed to go into a hotel. You are not allowed to buy food from a place that a tourist comes in or the elite comes in. So basically in Cuba what's going on is you have 11 million slaves that are in that country, slave to the communist regime. And it started in 1959 and it's gotten worse every single year. One of the questions is, why is this happening now? Because remember, Cuba was free up until 1959. January of 59 is when Castro took over. So a lot of people are saying, well, why is this happening now, in today's world? I'm going to tell you why. Because the people are so oppressed at this point, they don't have food, they don't have medicines. There is no way, they're giving them basically a ration of 5 pounds of rice a month. That's all they get, 2 ounces of meat, right? And then when they try to protest, a lot of people go, well, hey, we acknowledge their right to protest. Hey, let me explain something to you. They don't have a right to protest. Right now, a peaceful protester in Havana, Cuba, an artist that is protesting in Havana, Cuba, right, gets minimal 1 year in prison for protesting. 1 year. The government does not allow any protesting at all. So a lot of people ask me, well, they seem happy. I get this question. People come to Cuba and they visit and they go, everybody seems so happy. I love the fact that there's 50s cars. You know why there's 50s cars? That's all they got. They don't have any other car. They're making it work. You know why they're happy? Because they're trying to make what they can work. I give you this example. It's similar to going to the zoo. When you go to the zoo, you come back and you see all these great animals out in the zoo and they're happy. They go, oh wow, they seem really happy. That's exactly what's going on in Cuba. That communist regime has 11 million people that they have basically captured. The only difference between that and the Cuban today is at least in the zoo they feed their zoo animals. In Cuba they're slaves, 11 million slaves in that country. That's what we have to realize. What can we do, or what can our country or any other country do to help Cuba? Well, the first thing is, I'll tell you, as far as individuals, we have to be able to give awareness to what's really happening there. Please let people know what is really happening there. And as far as our country, the United States, I'm asking the Biden administration, please give them internet access. We have the ability to do it. Our governor was down there talking about the fact that, we've gotten companies. Please allow that so that they can continue to show the world what is happening. United Nations, you need to condemn what's happening in Cuba and that regime. They are imprisoning people, killing people, people are disappearing every day, and that's what we need to know. We've got to fight together and not forget this in 2 weeks, because the Cuban government will make it look like everything's fine, because they will continue to oppress people, arrest people, and kill people until it goes away. So that's one of the things, or several things, that I think we can do to try to keep this cause alive.